So somebody might have did a little bit of cable management yesterday and accidentally unplugged their second capture card and then couldn't figure out how to get it back plugged in for like 20 minutes. So that's why I'm late. Hi. Oops. You try to do something good for yourself, chat, like manage your massive mess of cables, and then you goof everything. Okay, but we're good now, I think. Where's my Joy-Con? Oh. I was gonna say, don't tell me I misplaced my Joy-Con. Alright, what's up everybody? Alright, let me go find a playlist. Unfortunately, the last time we did this, I got like 14 copyright claims. So I'm gonna try to find a better, safer playlist tonight. It looked like a circuitry in my setup. It did! I got these, what are they? They're called split sleeving. And I just got like a white, it's just in white to blend in with the walls. Yeah, Justin, because I accidentally, I did some cable management and unplugged my second capture card and then couldn't figure out why it didn't work. So I was doing that, frantically trying to figure out why that was happening for the past 20 minutes. And getting very upset, but it's good now. We're back. We're so back. I mean, because that's like, I can't just do FireRed. I can't just have FireRed. We gotta do both of them. But yeah, oops. I unplugged my second capture card when I put everything in the cable wrap. I don't even know how it happened too. I had to like pull the USB cable out of the cable wrap. It got so sucked in there. Oy vey. But we're good, chat. We're good. Okay, let me find a pseudo. Let's mute the game. Let's see. Oh, too loud. Okay, let's do Pokemon and chill, relaxing music. Alright. What's up, everybody? How's it going? Hey. Uh-oh. My Joy-Con went to sleep. There we go. Also, every time I was playing a little Poptopia before I switched to FireRed, the Switch 2 likes to fight me a lot. When I pull my Joy-Con out, it doesn't want to be controlled by it. Also, speaking of the last tech issues I had, I'm pretty sure it was just a internet problem. Although I still don't know why I was able to still be live and then no website worked, but we're here now. We're here now. I can't believe that happened. The USB cable just vanished. Ugh. Could hear me totally fine. That's so weird. I couldn't read either chat. It was honestly very stressful. I'm like, I don't know what's happening. First YouTube chat went down and then Twitch chat stopped loading. I'm like, what the? Huh? Which was a shame too, because I was starting to get in. We were doing some fun stuff in Poptopia. I had something really funny happen today in Poptopia. I was in the Rocky Ridge area, and I finally set up my track the minecart track, and out of nowhere, I'm about to go in and look for some iron ore, and Larvesta, riding a minecart, shoots down and passes me. It made me laugh out loud. Little Larvesta operating the minecart all by himself. He was having a great time, too. I really like Larvesta. It's such a good bug Pokemon. They kind of popped off in Gen 5 with the bugs, didn't they? I feel like Levani is due for something one of these days. Okay, did I put the note, the I'm live out? Yeah, I did. Okay. We're good. Whew. I want to get the shiny tonight, chat. A shiny. Either one. I will be happy with either one. I'm ready to clock a new shiny. $12.70 for Carp. And we're about to have $17.26 for Mander. The Manda. I miss getting Bulbasaur at 443. That was great. Less than halfway to the odds. I hope so. Oops, didn't even pick up Charmander yet. Come on, Magikarp. Stun the world. Beat FireRed by another shiny. To bring back Poptopia, I keep getting habitats for fishing rods, but the game has only ever given me like 2, so I guess I need to go in and 3D print some more fishing rods. Your friend got you Poptopia as a super early birthday present. Oh, nice! That's fun. It's a great game. How many hours do I have in Poptopia right now? It's gotta be too many. Oh, it's playing the Furret song. 3,600 for Squirtle and 5k plus for Moltres. Oh no. I hope you get your Squirtle and Flaming Chicken soon. This song just always makes me think of the Furret. The Furret GIF. The infamous Furret. Are Sentret in, one of those Pokemon have to be, are they in Poptopia, I wonder? Tyler got Squirtle yet? No. He was gonna hunt while I was hunting tonight, but he got scheduled for work, so. I think he's in like the 5k range. You got Bulbasaur super early and you're doing Abra now? Who should you do next? Well, you're already doing a Game Corner one. Maybe something like Lapras? Tyler got some insane numbers when he was shiny hunting in Emerald. I think his...
Welcome back.
Warble was like 13K. It was
How's
something crazy. Sky, thank you for the 18 months. I appreciate it. They're going okay. I mean, as well as not getting a shiny can go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Thank you, thank you. Welcome back. Found a shiny Slowpoke. Oh, nice. You gonna evolve it? He said you're crazy. When has that ever stopped a shiny hunter before? The YouTube comments being integrated. Yeah, it's dumb that Twitch ever had that rule to begin with. Twitch will do everything but make their platform better. Modest Mander. Previously on Quest. Well, I don't give refunds, is how I like to imagine he says that. Miss Carp? Shiny? No? Okay. I'm excited to do encounter hunts after this, chat, let me tell you. That'll be so much easier on me. What's up, Yeti? Miss Amanda, you shiny or not? Okay. Previously on Quest. I did Quest. I like the FireRed one that shows me that I bought... Here, let's see it. You withdrew a potion from the PC. Thanks, game. Thanks for telling me. Thanks for reminding me of my epic potion withdraw. Where would I be without you? What's up, Dragoon? Hope your internet behaves today. Me too. Me too.
Oh, it's Suicune!
Ooh, that's a good pull. Listen, shiny hunting the roamers seems like a massive mistake. It seems bad. It seems like a not fun time. But shiny Suicune in this game, gorge. Beautiful. Stunning. Might be one of the finest looking shinies in this game. If we're being honest. It's very nice. Maybe we'll have to cross that roamer bridge when we get there. Without the potion withdrawal reminder. Where would we be? Yeah, that's right. If they did ever re-release Crystal, we could static shiny hunt Suicune. Which would be nice. You taking on Silphco right now? Nice. I love Sylph. That's a fun dungeon. And I've gone through it so many times, I remember where the key is, remember where Nurse Joy and the beds are. I think I kind of want to do the Lapras, but I don't know if that'll be part of the main shiny 6 yet. Because Lapras, again, great shiny. Sylph was fun in Eevee. Yeah, that's right. I think... Was it the Rocket? I think it's the Rocket basement in Celadon, where you take control of either Pikachu or Eevee and have them, like, go through a narrow area to get something. I thought that was so cool, and they've never brought that back, ever. That was such a neat little feature. Like, getting to control your Pokemon. It was almost like pre-synchro, where you got to take your Pokemon and do a little puzzle. It was fun. God, why do you all have wavering emotion on here? No! I have a bone to pick with these Pokemon playlist people. That is not the vibe of chill. That's like putting the Midna song from Twilight Princess on a comfy playlist. No! You can't do that. Incorrect. What's it, like Midna's Lament or something like that? Also known as one of the saddest video game songs ever. A toy truck. I always love that post that somebody thought the potion bottle was like oozing potion. I don't know how anybody ever could imagine that, but you know what? That's funny. As a kid, I didn't really understand where Milotic's eyes were on that tiny sprite. We're back in the hunt. We're back in action. Looking for our golden friends who do not want to appear unless... Could you imagine if Charmander was shiny there? Magikarp. I have Magikarp in Poptopia, but I have not gotten Gary yet. I imagine Gary's gonna be like Onyx, where he just gets stuck a lot. Come on, Charmander, we're waiting for ya. These are kind of amateur numbers. We gotta go hard in the paint tonight, chat. Probably do this tomorrow, too. What's up, Gerald? An outrageous $5. How could you ever spend $5 on a fish? Could you even buy a fish from a pet store with $5 anymore? Remember when every Walmart used to have like a giant aquarium section? Maybe some do, I don't know. Do they still have aquariums in... Well, not aquarium, but... You know, where they sell, like, fish. They're all in, like, a little box. A little, box isn't the right word. They're little square prisons.
Here is a present for you.
Hey, friend, thanks for the 2-pack. The 2 gifted subs. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you.
Here is a present for you.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much. Maybe Delibird will give us some luck tonight. RNG to Mew in the Switch version, so they cheated. Oh, I like the Zoroark purple Pikmin. That's a good choice. It's a glitch. Mew under the truck! Game Freak is so funny. All the poor people that think... when FireRed and LeafGreen got announced, I saw a few people that thought, oh, we could finally get Mew. Because of course, Game Freak's gonna put Mew in the Hoenn region and not in Kanto. They're such trolls. They do be doing a little trolling. I don't think a lot of people realize that Ho-Oh and Lugia are in this game either. It was kind of interesting to see the reaction of people who've never really played this game or are not familiar with it. The Hoenn remakes will come to Switch. Oh, you mean Oraz? I think we'll get Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald this year, but I don't think any DS or 3DS stuff will happen unless they make like a... Nintendo comes out with an accessory for it. It'd be nice though. It'd be nice if we could have all the games on here. Red, blue, yellow, gold, silver, crystal, black, white, heart gold, soul silver, etc., etc. I do think we're gonna get Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. I don't know when. Either mid or late year, perhaps? Purple. I like the way Luigi says Poipole. Gotta bring the rest of the Gen 3 games in their events. Yeah, exactly, friend. I agree. Oh, are the 3DS games all rising in price? That sucks. They're not even that old. Those 3DS Pokemon games are not terribly old yet. 2 screens. Nintendo had a patent for a second screen for the Switch 2, but they haven't done anything with it yet. So they could. They could come out with like a DS second screen. That would be crazy. It would also be cool. Hopefully. Imagine if I could be shiny hunting in like black and white right now. That would be crazy. Or doing Heart Gold, Soul Silver, where we could see if the starter was shiny in the screen, like the main screen. New 2DS consoles cost the same price as a Switch 2. Oh no. We've got to stop these people, chat. It's getting out of control. Gonna resume the Zapdos hunt. Oh, that's fun. A lot of people are shiny hunting the boards. The boids. Anybody doing Articuno? Seen some Zapdos and Moltres mentions, but no Kunos. Kuno's probably the most out of the way to go get. With Zapdos probably being the easiest. You got Articuno in 129 resets? Damn, nice. Some of you are some lucky ducklets, chat. Stuck in PLCA with Odsha. No, a fate worse than death. The Donut Shadow Realm. Muspokopia. I just built the Rocky Ridge Pokemon Center today, which was... It's fun. It's got this, like, stained glass look to it. It's cool. I need to get, I have Skiploom, but I haven't gotten Hoppip or Jumpluff yet. I need to get them in before the event is over. You're stuck on Route 5, almost 3K. Yeah, Seafoam is kind of exactly how they designed where Lugia is, the Whirl Islands in Gen 2. Certain entrances take you certain places. Your Ridge and Beach Pokemon Centers will be done tomorrow. Nice. How jealous do you think Blue is when we finally get our shiny? He's gonna be like, you got a shiny and I didn't? That's what he said when I got my Bulbasaur. He was like, what the frick? In the 4th area? I haven't made it there yet. You're sick right now? Oh, feel better. It gives you more time to shiny hunt? True. You gotta look on the bright side. I remember when I was in high school, I can't even remember what grade, but I was home sick and I tried out a little bit of Masuda in Sun and I got a shiny Pichu. So it works. It's proven technology. I still remember running around with Tauros. Item duplication glitch for LeafGreen. Is that the one with the male? What's up, everybody? How's it going? We're at 12.99 fishes and 17.55 lizards. Neither of which have been gold. Still rocking my one shiny Bulbasaur. Yeah, it's like, take your pick. Do you want to do the item dupe thing with the male, or do you want to get 1,000 nuggets? to beat Rayquaza. Oh, that's fun. For 8 Master Balls for every legendary you plan to hunt. That's the way to do it. Catching legendaries in these old games, not fun. Especially Mewtwo, who has Recover. Ugh. Honestly, I might do that too. I might join you. Yeah, I believe it's something that you have to have, like, mail. I always notice people having mail. I don't know the exact setup, but... Going for your 1,000 nuggets right now. Yeah, failing a shiny legendary in this game, I think, would give me turbo depression. Like, I'd have to take a week off and stare at the wall. Just having that security that you could just throw the Master Ball is nice. And there's not really great Pokeballs in this game anyway. It's not like you have your choice of, oh, you could do Dream Ball, or you could do... You can't. You can't. Mail is used in, like, every glitch. Yeah, why is that? Why is mail so exploitable? Can't even do Premiere. I know! They were wilding out in Gen 3. Introducing the Premiere Ball, but not having it in FireRed LeafGreen. Okay. Odd. Glitches are sexist. Just like real email. This really says something about society. Everything else you can get from DAs, yes. And you have much better choice of Pokeball in, well... I say that, but it's still very annoying to get Apri Balls in Sword and Shield. I usually just end up trading a bot. Or just resigning myself to using my Beast Balls. Why they didn't have the other Apri Balls in the ore shop in Dynamax Adventures, I'll never know. I will simply never know. If I what would you even catch Deoxys in if you had your choice of Pokeball? Moonball? Moon would be pretty cool. What else would work for Deoxys? Put Pokeball guy out of the job. Ball guy, you're fired. Your shiny Charmeleon is serious. My Bulbasaur is naive. Some things are just letdowns. Left unknown. Like the Pokemon, haha. Oh yeah, speaking of ZA, has anybody tried the new season, chat? Is it fun and ranked? Deoxys is only level 30 in this game, right? That's so shaman coded. Or is he a higher level? I can't remember. Yeah, okay. He is 30. That's... I could see that as both a pro and a con. If you attack it with a high level Pokemon, you'll kill it. But it's also lower level, so it's easier to manage. I don't think I've interacted with Deoxys on that island since I was a literal child. I've never gone back for Deoxys again. And that's only because I had a Game Shark. If I didn't have a Game Shark or Action Replay or some of those other devices I had, I would have never been able to experience those events. Yeah, I need to log into ZA and get my last season rewards. It's so hard to slot that game in now. There's too much going on. There's no new ranked rewards? Wow. Dang, so we got a few months of ZA ranked before it kind of fizzled out. Went for flamethrower and burned. Oh no. You never got Deoxys? I never was in a place where I didn't even really know where to go. Because I was a, you know, elementary school. I don't know where they're hosting, like, events to distribute Deoxys. Let's do a double check. We haven't done a double check tonight. The way they're revealing champions is very clumsy. They just had to update people. Double check. Double no. They had to just update people for Orlando. Because the way they're revealing it, they're not telling people like what the regulation is actually going to be. $55 Abras per reset. That is so nice. That's gotta be the easiest shiny to get in the game. We might go for it, chat. I could use an easy shiny right now, to be honest. Well, we'll find out soon, chat. Next month. Supposedly coming out in April. Again, no specific date. Yeah, Justin, you're right. Abra has given me non-stop problems. Now that you say that. I couldn't get Abra. I couldn't get a Shalfa in ZA. I had one run away from me in PLA. Abra has given me lots of problems. What comes out in April? Pokemon Champions. Gale of Darkness. Oh, is that also this month? I think I have... So the last time we played Gale of Darkness might still be on YouTube. I usually play Gale of Darkness or Coliseum once a year. It's our yearly tradition around here. Pokemon Concord. Do I already know who I want to go for in these games? Yeah, I have a general idea. I know where we're going next for both of these after these shinies. We're gonna do some good old-fashioned encounters. What's up, everybody? How's it going? We're at 1313 fishes and 1769 manders. I looked for Abra a bunch in ZA, and I kept getting the worst luck with the psychic hyperspaces. It would just spawn like Meditite. Well, I love Meditite in Medicham. I actually think Gen 3 has some great fighting types. Like Hirayama. Big fan of those fellas. But they're not who I was looking for. Pikachu and Viridian? If I wanted to be here for like 9 years, I could do that. Didn't one of you tell me that a shiny hunter went for Pikachu and Viridian and it took him like 2 years? I believe that. Nah, nothing in Viridian. Although it would be fun to get Caterpie or Beedrill. Two years? That is crazy. I did catch a Pikachu in LeafGreen already, but it isn't shiny. It's not shiny. Back when Pikachu used to actually be rare. You're not that big on Pikachu. Pikachu doesn't have a good shiny either. I'd much rather do like a Alolan Raichu. The hyperspace thing got old quick. It absolutely did. And then Garchomp Z, I still don't quite understand why that exists. It's like we have $10 left in the budget. Just do something. Give him something, I don't know. Sorry to Pikachu, but Raichu... I mean, I wouldn't say Raichu shiny is like that much better. But at least Alolan Chew has a good shiny. Have I soft reset over a shiny? No, not yet. Anyway. I think it's honestly kind of nice that I count because I have to look at the being able to count slows me down a little bit so I don't instantly reset. I have failed shinies though. I had a shiny Charizard run for me in Let's Go Pikachu. I flew over a shiny Abra that spawned right underneath me in PLA and just immediately teleported out. And I might have ignored 1 or 2 shiny Fletchling, or maybe 3 or 4 in ZA. ZA is the type of game where you just, it changes everything. You start ignoring shinies you always thought you'd catch real quick. What's up, Enzo? Who do I want for starter? I don't know yet. I have to see their final evolutions. Pretty lukewarm on all 3. Brout has the funniest memes, though. So I guess if you forced me to say one, I'd say Brout. Any shinies that have exploded? I've never had an exploding shiny before. If you're lucky enough to get the right donuts. Which I was never. I was never lucky enough. Double check. Double no. Won't pick a starter without knowing the full line ever again. You pick Chespin? That's so funny. It evolves into Quillet and you're like, huh? Oh no. O-Code is shiny iron bundle. Oh no. Sent the bundle packing. Oh, I also had a incident in Scarlet where I looked directly at a shiny Paldean Tauros and didn't get it, didn't register it. So I guess that's another one, huh? Listen, in my defense, shiny Paldean Tauros is heinous. You can't blame me, okay? Don't blame me. When will the next DA be? We'll probably do another one soon. Next week or 2. Just gotta figure out a way to slot it in. There's a lot of Pokemon stuff right now. 5 shiny random Golducks. That was like me getting Sneasel. Anytime I went on the mountain in Scarlet, I would just instantly get like 3 shiny Sneasel. Been on the Poptopia grind, same. What's up, Poke Guy? You just started for Deoxys? Ooh, good luck. That's a fun one. We're all Golbat. Is that your lucky Pokemon, question mark? My first shiny in Scarlet was a Choodle. Womp. It was like, oh, okay. I love the Zubat line too. Crobat's shiny, I dare say, is underrated. Yeah, I gotta see the final starters before I pick one. Wonder when our next Winds and Waves trailer is gonna be. Mareep, oh, that's a good one. Pink Sheep. I think I ended up getting a lot of Flaffy and Palmy. A Pokemon event? Well, we have Worlds, but that's in August. Are we thinking they're gonna go dormant until August? Would they even show Worlds? Would they even show Winds and Waves stuff at Worlds anymore, considering they're separating the two? They're surgically removing the battle stuff to put in Champions. So I don't even know if they'd show Winds and Waves stuff at Worlds anymore. They have that Pokemon XP, whatever that thing is. Maybe they'll have an event there. I want to see the legendaries, chat. I want to see the legendaries. More eye-poppin' shinies. What's the most eye-poppin' shiny from Gen 9? I feel like Koraidon's shiny is quite flashy. Sure would love to shiny hunt that in Gen 10. Game Freak. Wug Trio. I don't even disagree with that. Wug Trio and Wiglet have very noticeable flashy shinies. A shiny Oink alone. What is this normal pig doing in my Pokemon game? Pombon looks like a Pal World Mon. It definitely has that, like... how do I phrase this? Taking a very, very popular animal. This is such a good song. I swear I'm hitting B to skip these recaps and the game is just ignoring me. Oh yeah, Toedscruel and Toedscool. Those are some of Gen 9's finest shinies. Gen 9 has a lot of great shinies, but unfortunately people get hung up on like Ceruledge, Armarouge, Goldengo, and discount the whole gen. Not every gen's gonna have 10 out of 10 shiny bangers. Maybe the fact that Scarlet and Violet didn't have the shiny sound effect or an audio cue is what really got people down about it. Capsakid. Was a fledgling. That sounds about right. My first shiny in ZA was Pidgey, and it flew away. I still remember that too. I remember that like it happened yesterday. I was just walking down a street, going down a little hill. I hear the shiny sound effect. I go like, what? And there was just, it was a Pidgey that obviously flew away. $50 hours. I'll have to check and see how many how many hours I have. I think I was at 30 the last time I checked a few days ago. Jigglypuff's... Oh, like shiny Jigglypuff's eyes? The green? It isn't as good as Clefairy's shiny, but it isn't the worst Gen 1 has to offer. Medicham? Oh, that's fun. Medicham's got a great shiny. The biggest shame about ZA, well... Oh, there's a big list of those, but one of them is that I never got to use Mega Medicham. Shiny Screamtail. Oh, that is nice. The Scarlet Paradoxes all have really good shinies. Group Bonnet's got a good shiny. Flutter's got a great shiny. Roaring Moon. That was the first Paradox that I went after. Just go monochrome. I think it works for stuff like Iron Bundle and I guess to some extent Valiant or Miraidon, but yeah, it's definitely not as fun. Yeah, ZA's DLC is definitely not a Crown Tundra. It's not a Crown Tundra. I wouldn't even say it was an Isle of Armor. The Hoenn games? The Hoenn games are in the code for these two titles. But there's no, like, actual guarantee. Valiant shiny was Gardevoir Gallade Blue, but metallic. That would have been cool. It's annoying how they stuck to the same design philosophy for every single Violet Paradox. Even down to, like, the designs themselves. Like, why couldn't we have gotten a few Paradoxes that looked like, you know, retro technology or just anything different? A little bit of variety, please. $13.40 carps. Again, another song that does not belong on a playlist. There we go. Any luck so far? Nope. We're still on the grind for our golden boys. $13.41. Oh, you're doing the lucky egg hunt? Ooh, good luck. The lucky egg hunt is essentially shiny hunting. That's item shiny hunting. Give it up for day 37. $17.97. That's crazy. Yep, this is full odds. So 8,192. I am still very much under odds. Why did they make that item so unbelievably difficult to get in this game? Did they? I don't think they thought that one through at all. You got Bulbasaur in 443 and now the game makes me, it's like I have to suffer. We gave you one good shiny, no more. You know the safari catching strat, yes. Chansey has... People have researched into Chansey and figured out the exact Chansey technology. Baking honey butter biscuits, yum. Charmander, are you shiny? Nope. Boom. 1800 Manders. $50 shiny Chansey. Chansey is one of those Pokemon that, again, a lot like Pikachu or Lapras or several other Pokemon, what was once rare is no longer rare. Chansey spawns all over the place in like every modern Pokemon game. Really hope they're better about that in Gen 10, but they haven't given me any reason to think they'll fix anything like that. Likely get a shiny Chansey when hunting literally anything. I think I got a shiny Chansey in PLA. I got a shiny Chansey in Scarlet. Do I have any others? Is Moltres the fiery chicken? I don't think I ever got a Chansey in Let's Go. I did not do a ton of shiny hunting in Let's Go, though. Shiny hunting in Let's Go, weirdly stressful. Actually, there's nothing weird about it. The fact that Pokemon can flee from you at any time just automatically... automatically makes it stressful. Then you have to use those motion controls unless you're playing in handheld. Oh, no. Everywhere is the Safari Zone. From Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon doing the Chansey Blissey level up method. Good for getting HP EVs too. Do a double check. We haven't done a double check in a while. I think I got a few Chanseys in Scarlet now that I think about it. Ooh, 2 females. And yet neither are shiny. Shame. FireRed is on my Switch 2 and LeafGreen is on my Switch 1. Pokedexes on the table look so big. Like Professor Oak is gonna... Look, those are the size of our characters' heads. Sheesh. Did this add like a rain sound effect? The Lake Guardians are not personally who I think of when I think calm Pokemon music. GBAs are a nightmare to capture, that's true. I think we talked about this recently, but back in the day, the 3DS capture card industry was crazy. There was like 2 people who would make them, and they were not cheap. Is the Switch 2 worth the upgrade? I think so, yes. It's a very nice console. That's true, it does look great on the Switch screen. Yeah, it feels high quality. The materials they used feel nice. The Joy-Cons are a lot bigger. The whole console is bigger. It kind of makes the Switch feel like a toy if you hold them next to each other. Is how I felt when I unboxed my Switch 2 for the first time. It's like, wow, it really makes the Switch 1 look tiny. And people keep saying, like, oh, but there's barely any games. The console's not even a year old yet. I know we're all impatient for Nintendo to give us the goods. Me included. I'm people. I'm included in there. But it's got some pretty good, decent games on it as of right now. Everything loads so quickly. It's a night and day difference. Especially if you're gonna do shiny hunting in like a BDSP or something, you will save yourself probably hours of time. Also, heads up, Twitch chat, ads are gonna play. But knowing my luck, you probably won't miss anything. And I'll probably get up for a second. The only thing about the Switch 2 I don't particularly care for is the color. I think the color is pretty boring. That slate gray. I mean, it looks slick, but it's just a little bit boring, you know what I mean? And we don't know when they're gonna release a special edition console. Winds and Waves will probably get one. But when? When is that game even gonna come out? Early next year? Late next year? I still want to know what our first special edition Switch 2 console is gonna be. Gonna be a Mario, a Zelda, some mysterious third thing. Alright, chat, give me 1 second, I'll be right back. That's right, they did release a RE9 Pro Controller, didn't they? That's pretty cool, honestly. Yeah, November 2027, you think? Oops, we did the double nickname. How long? Okay, this song is on playlist, people. Did Kirby ever get a Switch? You know what, Mimikyu? That's a great question. I don't think so. Why not? I'd buy a Kirby Switch. They should have had one for, for Air Riders. Have they ever done a Metroid Switch? No achievements. I wish Poptopia had achievements. I would go crazy for that. I feel like achievements and cozy games are a good combo. Yeah, they've never, I don't think they've ever, did they ever do like a Kirby DS or something? They ever made a Kirby console? I saw a post that was like, Resident Evil 9 has outsold Poptopia. I don't understand what's happening. Resident Evil 9 is on like 5 different platforms. Poptopia's numbers are very good for being on a console that not even a ton of people even own yet. Yeah, I was gonna say, if they made a Metroid console, it'd be the first Japanese console to sell, like, -5 copies in Japan. Again, we don't even know what Nintendo's really cooking up for a good part of this year. They've revealed a few things like the new Tomodachi and Rhythm Heaven. But besides that, whole year's kind of wide open. They continue to never do anything for Mar 10 Day, unless it's like movie related. There's a Metroid-themed GBA SP. Why is that so on brand? Samus doesn't get to have anything but an SP. '18. We're gonna be getting into the modern years with Charmander soon. You know, unless you want to be shiny and we can cut this facade off right now. I could go play the game. I say that as if I'm going to be going very far. I'm not. If they don't release like a special Smash Bros. Console the next time a new Smash game comes out, then what are we even doing here? They had the Pro Controller for Ultimate. I do remember that. I kind of wanted that controller for some reason, but I never got it. I never had a Pro Controller until the Switch 2, which, if you do get a Switch 2, chat, listen. The Switch 2 Pro Controller is the best controller I've ever owned. It is so nice. It is such a nice controller. Don't have Switch 2. Does Smash even run better on a Switch 2? Tiny bit. How much RAM does the original Switch have versus the Switch 2? The game judges you so hard for buying the Magikarp, it's crazy. Let's do a double check, chat. We're at 1821 for Mander and 1366 for Carp. Boom. Dang. What game did I see that they recently put out an update and like broke everybody's mods? I actually had a problem similar to that along those lines with Fields of Mystria, which is like a Stardew Valley copycat. But I installed a bunch of mods and then a new update came out and I couldn't launch the game from Steam and I'm like, oh shit, I don't even remember how I installed or did this launcher, all the mod stuff. Oops. Jumping from 4 gigs to 12? Wow, that's why it loads faster. Amazing what some RAM can do for your electronic device. Wow, that's huge. Yeah, DDR5 over 4 is also huge. You can tell. That whole paragraph is all factual. You can absolutely tell. It's nice though because LeafGreen, you know, a game from 2004, runs just as fine on the Switch 1 as it does the Switch 2. So no problem there. $18.25. The Charmander of 1825. Wow, it only had 4 gigs of RAM. That's wow. The fact that developers were able to do like Breath of the Wild on that console, incredible. Truly incredible. A new eel Pokemon? An eel would be cool. I love eels. I really hope we get some more unique water Pokemon in Gen 10 than just like a bunch of fish Pokemon. Like, give us a seaweed Pokemon. Give us like some more. Put Clamperl back in there. Get Corsola in there. Well, we know Corsola's in the game. I want the ocean to actually feel alive. Put Staryu. What about Staryu? Have Staryu in the beach, like casually lighting up at night with its jewel. That would be so sick. What else? What else would be a neat water Pokemon? I still think a ship Pokemon would be kind of neat. You start off with like a little canoe and then it can evolve into a giant pirate ship. The King of Red Lions. We've got to have a King of Red Lions in Wiwa. Sea Snake Regional Ekans. Ooh, I like that idea. Yeah, where's the love for Ekans, chat? Luminion. That's right. For the longest time, that was the one image of Gen 10 we had, that Luminion image. You guys remember that? I think that's the same poster that's in Nemona's house. An Ocarina Pokemon? That would be incredible. I'm surprised we don't have more musical instrument Pokemon. Why are half of the musical instrument, like, musical Pokemon I think of, they're all in, like, Gen 8. Rillaboom, Toxtricity. I mean, Jigglypuff sings, but she's not what I would call a musician. What are some other musical Pokemon? Yeah, Meloetta. Meloetta's a mythical, though. She's a bit more unique. We only have one shark Pokemon. We have Garchomp and we have Sharpedo. Give us another shark. Chimecho? Oh yeah, Kricketune, Chatot, yeah, DJ Rotom. DJ Rotom should have a lot more storage for his CDs. Hoenn doesn't have they don't have a trumpet Pokemon. Sad. They gave us our dolphin Pokemon in Gen 9, so I guess we don't have to ask for a new dolphin. Unless they introduce, like, an evil... They introduce an evil aquatic Pokemon to rival Palafin. Palooza is pretty evil. Great shiny, though. I feel like Veluza gets set up a little bit. It's not Veluza's fault that Lag Lake lagged as hard as it did and made it hard to dodge his onslaught. Vaultin' Veluza! I actually think, as somebody who complains about a lot of boring fish Pokemon, I kind of like Gen 9s. Like, I like Dondozo, I like Tatsu. A Black Widow Pokemon? Ooh. Yeah, there's a ton of different spoods that they could still take inspo from. No hummingbird Pokemon? That's crazy. Why is, like, the closest thing we have Cutie Fly? Hummingbirds are so neat, too. You ever see the a hummingbird nest and they're like the size of a quarter? I want another chicken Pokemon. I hope there's like a big farm somewhere in Wiwa that we can explore. I feel like Pokemon farms are always fun. But they're lacking a lot of basic farm animals. And Torchic is a starter, so you can't just have fields of Torchics. I mean, I guess you could. Not scary for kids. They probably would need to color it not scary for adults. The amount of games that have arachnophobia, sensors, and warnings is so funny to me. Whitney and her Miltank. What about a baby for Miltank and Tauros? Sandslash. Sandslash is a pangolin, which is a very neat animal. But pretty similar. We don't have a lot of hedgehogs either. We have Shaman and Togedemaru. Those are only hedgehogs. Pastures of Miltank. Maybe one of them is sick and we need to feed them a berry. Chespin. I don't know what Shaman Sky is supposed to be, but regular little Shaman. Little hedgehog. Too bad Shaman doesn't have a shiny that's blue. It's Sonic. A reindeer? Does he help Santa? Does Shaman Sky help deliver presents to all the good boys and girls of the world? Really? I did not know that. It's like Dragapult being based off of that one fossil that nobody ever found a tail, and that's why Dragapult had a transparent tail. At least it used to. Stantler's job. kind of want more Pokemon like we have in Gen 1. I miss Pokemon that you just don't know what it is. Like, if you look at Lickitung, or even like Magmar, they're just creatures. They're just monsters. Even Slowpoke, I'd say, like, yeah, maybe it's a hippo, but it doesn't really look like a hippo. More dinosaurs. We are due for new fossils in Gen 10, chat. Yeah, Tangela. What is Tangela? Noodle. Spaghetti. Tangela is made of the spaghetti. Noodles with no packet. A lionfish Pokemon? That would be cool. I could see them making one of those at some point. It's such a visually striking fish. Aren't they invasive? That would be... They could maybe weave that into the lore. I don't think they'd ever do like a clownfish because Nemo's already covered that, but that would be fun to see more of those bright tropical fish. They could be poison type. They're poison type IRL. Favorite female trainer? I don't know if I have like a definitive favorite, but I like Misty. I like Acerola. I like Sabrina. Blair, Jasmine. Lucy, that's a good one too. Love Lucy. They should bring her back. I miss her. $13.90. Wow. We're getting up there with the carps. A sea serpent. Yeah, any sort of like Leviathan-esque creature would be neat. The Kraken. Release the Kraken. You hope it's better than Scarlet Violet's legendaries. I saw a guy getting dunked on Twitter, of course. But I didn't necessarily disagree with him. He said that legendaries don't feel... What was this? I think he said legendaries don't feel legendary anymore. And to some extent, I see what he means. They are making a lot of them. and then they just kind of don't... Like, what do Zacian or Zamazenta really end up accomplishing other than turning in place in that one cutscene and making people laugh? Shiny hunting Regirock? Nice. Good luck. Good luck for your chocolate rock. Also, Koraidon and Miraidon don't have a third... They don't have a Rayquaza. They don't have a Necrozma. They don't have a Kyurem. I mean, maybe you could argue for Cyclizar. But I would maybe disagree with that. I think a lot of it, I mean, maybe... I know exactly what it... For me, I don't like when the legendaries are both the same creature. I like a Kyogre or Groudon or a Solgaleo Lunala. The only time I think they really pulled that off was Reshiram and Zekrom. Am I gonna watch Horizons? No. Horizon just seems to be the Roy show. He gets to have, like, shiny Lucario and 5 different Megas, and everyone else gets scraps. Oh yeah, Ho-Oh and Lugia, definitely. But Ho-Oh and Lugia are interesting because they don't really interact with each other. They have their own individual lore. Oh, I didn't even pick up the fish. Ho-Oh and Lugia also have very different color schemes and overall... I guess I wouldn't say overall designs, but they're more unique to each other than I feel like... Like, Zacian and Zamazenta are very similar. They're armored dogs. And Dialga and Palkia get saved a little bit because they have Giratina and Arceus and all that lore going for them with Sinnoh stuff. Monkey Dory. And we have been getting a ton of legendaries lately. They've been dishing them out because they want to sell DLC copies. They won't buy it unless we put a legendary in it. Yeah, Gen 4 has Dialga, Palkia, Giratina, Heatran, the Lake Guardians, Cresselia. There's so many. Lots of mythicals, too. Which Gen 3 has a lot of legendary... Oops, I did the wrong counter. Or you just won't count this next Charmander. Well, this counts as this Charmander. I still think Heatran is one of the funniest legendaries. In such an already legendary packed gen, they're like, yeah, let's throw in Heatran. They're gonna love this. Are we gonna get a trio in Gen 10 or a quartet like we did in Gen 9? Oh yeah, no hate to Heatran, chat. I just think he's funny. Cool Mega, too. Gen 5 is the Genies and the Swords of Justice. They were on their legendary era back then. And then they immediately pulled their foot off the gas when Gen 6 rolled around. Xerneas and Yveltal are good opposites, I agree. It'd be nice if Game Freak would ever bother doing anything interesting with them. Chicken species of a chicken that lives in Indonesia, that'd be cool. Scraggy? Yeah, Scraggy's fine. $1,400 carps. My goodness. A lot of carps. Wow, this song does not end. Volcanion Omega. Let's not kid ourselves, Chad. They hate him. They hate him. Got a shiny Cyndaquil and Heart Gold. Nice. They gave him a movie. It's so weird to not have Pokemon movies anymore. Like, it was such a expected thing until it wasn't. Empty basement. I think I've seen bits and pieces of the Hoopa movie. After Ash retired, he took all the movies with him. I think he did, yeah. I think you might be right. I can't wait for Gen 10 to come and go and we still won't be able to shiny hunt Victini. I see it now. He owns the rights. Ash is the copyright holder. How's the hunts treating you today? They're going okay. We're hanging in there. Still under odds. For now. You were Ash burnt out. Oh yeah. I'm totally fine with what they ended up doing. Seems like they're more interested in doing TV shows. We had Pokemon Concierge. Which, is that done? Are they gonna give us a third season, or is that just done? And then that show that's being worked on from the Wallace and Gromit people. And then obviously the main anime. How superior LeafGreen is. LeafGreen is winning so far. With my one Bulbasaur that I got at 443. It's been nothing but Bulba. He is green. Bulbasaur shiny in this game is poppin'. Whoops. Don't need to go to my bag for... Here, Magikarp, have this antidote. 50 donut resets? Maybe that's what I should have done. I should have counted how many donut resets it took me to get like a Alpha 3 Water 3. You found Slowking in Poptopia? He's huge, isn't he? Love him. LeafGreen also gets the cheaper Abra. FireRed, to FireRed's credit, they have some cheaper Pokemon in the Game Corner too. And some pretty good version exclusives. I mean, I like both version exclusives in Gen 1. Are both of these games still #1 in the eShop? FireRed has Deoxys attack. True. I like attack way more than defense. FireRed has Growlithe. That's true. If I wasn't getting Charmander in FireRed, I would shiny hunt Growlithe. I've always liked Growlithe's weird tiger dog shiny. Turns into a yellow tiger dog. Yeah, why is Meowth a exclusive? You wouldn't think Meowth would be exclusive at all. It's like Pikachu. It's like making Pikachu a version exclusive. Shiny Nidoran male in the Safari Zone? Whoa, that's cool. Safari, that would scare me though. Safari Zone shinies are so stressful. I really want to see shiny Gyarados because it's such a unique color in this game. It's more orange than it is red. One of my proudest shiny hunts was Persian in Scarlet Violet. I think I got Meowth too. I've gotten both of them. Because there's, again, no shiny sound effect or indicator in Scarlet Violet, so if you see a shiny, you just have to know. Being able to spot Persian's terrible shiny was rewarding. Getting treated like Koraidon, where they're like a ride the whole game. Poison doesn't do too well in Kanto. I mean, these are not very difficult games. You could beat them with any amount of Pokemon as long as you have enough levels for it. Used Earthquake on Aerodactyl? No! Poor Nidoking. EQ-less. Breeding for a shiny in Scarlet Violet. That is the worst shiny method in all of Pokemon. I would rather do anything else than hatch for eggs in Scarlet Violet, and I'm not joking. Hatching eggs in Scarlet and Violet. Don't get me going, chat. Don't get me going. Hate, hate, hate. Hate, hate. Hate, hate, hate. It is rancid. Only way to get the shiny starters for now. Whoops. You have to have 2 separate timers that you have to keep track of when you hatch eggs in Scarlet Violet. Because you are not allowed to look at your timer when you're in a picnic. Because chimpanzees program that game. You know what? That's an insult to chimpanzees. I'm so sorry, fellas. I think they could have done a better job. Why can you not check your timer when you're in a picnic? So infuriating. It feels so bad. Ugh. If eggs are like that in Gen 10, we're not even gonna look at them. Yeah, what was wrong with the classic daycare? They tried to modernize egg hatching and just made it 1,000 times worse. It's almost impressive. Genuinely almost impressive. A picnic, you're supposed to be relaxing and not worried about the clock. That is some sort of weird logic they would use, but I genuinely think it's a programming problem. It made getting eggs just for Pokedex completion so miserable too. Like, not even just shiny hunting. But just, I remember completing my Pokedex in Scarlet and trying to hatch a few Pokemon, and it's like... It just sucked. It sucked so hard. Oh, talk about another game where it sucks to hatch eggs in, BDSP. Yeah, I agree. It's the best in Sword and Shield if you want to hatch eggs. Which that's where I've gotten the bulk of my Masuda shinies over the years from Shield. I hope stuff like Surprise Trade is back in Gen 10. I didn't like that that wasn't in PLZA. That's gotta be a staple. Another very useful way to complete your Pokedex. And remember, chat, Weewa, Winds and Waves is going to be Switch 2 exclusive. And unless anybody comes out with a Switch 2 hack anytime soon, unlikely, we will not have any data miners to tell us any information. We're gonna have to figure everything out on our own. You know what? That's funny that you say that, because I did see a tweet that was like, people so angry at BDSP not realizing it's just base Diamond and Pearl, which sucks. Yeah, hatching eggs in Sword and Shield is really chill. I just picked the route right outside of the first gym town. They give you a nice long route to go back and forth. It's nice. Yeah, just play Platinum. Oh, hi Bulbasaur. I didn't mean to look at ya. I see it as both a pro and a con. Data miners do provide good information and help. Not solve. What would be the word? They can provide a lot of good information, especially for mechanics, because Game Freak never likes telling us anything. The Pokemon community is usually how we figure out most mechanics anyway. But it will be kind of nice to not have instant data mines. Like, here's the mythical that they're going to release in 6 months. Waking your Pokemon up so they can build you a house at 11. I always feel so bad. Get out of bed, Score Bunny. You have to go make me some copper ore. The link cable. They're so evil for not having the link cable item in PLZA. They had the link cable in Legends Arceus and then, like, decided, let's never put that back in anywhere. Do a double check. Making the Bulba line an entire house. Oh, that'll be nice. And no shiny. They're evil for not including the link cable in any modern Pokemon game. True. Again, it's just a convenience thing. I mean, it's telling that they don't make... There's not many modern trade evolutions made. It honestly just feels outdated. I know it's Game Freak being like, oh, you gotta have friends. Don't have friend. That's what Ishihara says. But again, it's not even that. Just having to set up and it's just let me evolve my Pokemon in like 2 seconds, please. I don't want to have to set up a trade and go through it all. It's just... And in these games, if you don't have a buddy or another console, how are you gonna get Gengar, Alakazam, Golem? Machamp! I can get Machamp and Poptopia by just putting some sacks of flowers next to grass. Why can't I do that in this game? You prefer Graveler to Golem? I'm the opposite. I've always liked Golem. I always think Golem had, as a kid, reminded me a little bit... He could have been part dragon. He's got the fangs. I don't know what they did to him in Alola. We don't talk about that. You prefer Machoke over Machamp? Why is he so smooth? Because he rolls. Rollin', 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 rollin'. I think the only middle trade Evo I prefer in Gen 1 is Haunter. Shout out to Haunter. Alolan Golem. Ugh. That's by one of my favorite designers, too. That's the same guy that made Tyrantrum and Aurorus. My goat missed on that one. Graveler gave his spare arms to Machamp. That's how it worked, right? You swept Lance with a Graveler in red and blue? That's funny. Take on my ultimate dragon Pokemon beaten by rock. Who will win, ultimate pseudo dragons or one little rocky boy? I saw a tweet the other day. Some people just live in alternate realities, I'm pretty sure. I saw the tweet was, I hope we have a non-dragon pseudo in Gen 10. Agree, first of all. But then I saw a reply that said, we've never not had a dragon pseudo because Metagross is not a pseudo and Tyranitar is a dragon. Huh? What do you mean? In what universe is Metagross not a pseudo? This is a real comment I saw. And they were arguing with people in the entire thread about why Metagross was not a pseudo. They said it was pseudos are fan-made, and that Metagross is not a real pseudo, and that Tyranitar is a dragon. Alright, this person's delusional. They were not even Twitter blue. Just stupid for the love of the game. I've noticed that about some Pokemon fans. They make up their own lore and then act like it's actually real. I have noticed people doing that. They think their own headcanons and theories are like genuine canon. Also, how are pseudos not... They have one every gen. Sometimes they used to give us two. That's just so, like... What reality are you living in, buddy? Poor Metagross. What did Metagross do to deserve that slander? If they thought of it, everyone did, so it's true, yes. Some people do genuinely think like that. Baxcalibur was the pseudo in Gen 9. I mean, Game Freak, the Pokemon Company even's given them a name now. They're the Powerhouse Pokemon, which I think is a dumb name. I will not be using that name. But pseudos are absolutely a type of Pokemon. Like, the pseudos aren't real. They can't hurt you. There we had Baxi, and then Dragapult, Komao, Goodra, Hydreigon, Metagross, Salamence, Titar, Oh, I skipped Garchomp, lol. How could I skip Garchomp? Bax got a Mega. I wonder if Mega Baxcalibur is going to be good in Champions. I'll say what I always say, chat. Listen, if you're a big Flygon fan, maybe you dodged a bullet. Maybe it not getting a Mega was a good thing, because it could have turned out like Mega Pyroar. Or Mega Feraligatr. You might have actually dodged a bullet and not have even known. They gave my favorite Pokemon Garchomp 2 ugly Mega Evolutions. What am I supposed to do with that? Honestly, a lot of my favorite Pokemon have disgusting Megas. Like Aerodactyl, another one of my favorite friends. Give him a rock OT and tack a bunch of shit on his wings and call it a day. Original Mega Garchomp's fine. I don't hate it. But I don't like it more than OG Garchomp. Mew gets no Mega. If your favorite Pokemon is a mythical, I'm sorry. I mean, regular Mega Garchomp always pissed me off because they just didn't seem to fundamentally understand what made regular Garchomp good because they made the Mega slow. So, did not like that. I don't care for Mega Garchomp's stat spread. Alright, it's time to find a new playlist. This one pissing me off. We just have to have the beach. Ambient open world music pack. Alright, there we go. Found it while scrolling through YouTube. What's up? I like mostly upbeat music when I shiny hunt. If it's too dreary or low-key, it makes me sleepy. Shiny hunting Bulbasaur, nice. Oh, does Crush 40 get hit with copyright strikes now? You're joking. This playlist has a little blooper and he's walking. Hey, I'm walking here. I'm blooping here. A lot of mythicals don't even get any merchandise, too. It's crazy. Like, even Volcanion, who got a movie, or even Hoopa, do they have a ton of merchandise? No. No, they don't. Also, heads up, Twitch chat, ads are gonna play. Ad warning. Gotta run them to turn the pre-rolls off. Yeah, I picked up Bulbasaur at 443 and it's been a lot of nothing since. Remember the era where that was like all the Mario games Nintendo was releasing, new Super Mario Brothers games? after Bulbasaur, we beat Brock and wandered over to just outside Mount Moon, resetting for the Carp, and then Charmander, we're still stuck in the lab. Oak will not let us go. The Wonder Era. The Charmander of 1899. Sometimes when I see Blue picking up Squirtle, I read Squirtle, and for some reason I think I picked up the wrong Pokemon. There we go! 1900. Almost at 2K Manders. I like these numbers right now. 1900 and then 1444. Magikarp's actually catching up a little bit to Charmander, because Charmander takes just a little bit more time. Because you have to wait for Blue's slow butt to go grab his Squirtle. I should not have done Magikarp right after. I definitely should have gone and done an encounter one, but we're in too deep. I can't quit now. Care about Pikachu or Eevee anymore. I don't know why I said that with such a strong accent. They remove their vocal cries. I actually like that. Hot take, but I like that. I much prefer their in-game cries. I don't think anime stuff belongs in the games at all. Personally. With, I guess, an exception being like Pokemon Yellow. You were getting tired of anime Pikachu too? Yeah, I actually think that's a great... I'm very happy they walked back on that. We won't be going very far after I get Shiny Charmander. But I will be going a bit of a ways after we get Magikarp. Early Bulba did give me a false sense of confidence. Genuinely. I mean, we're chilling. Never really cared for any of the, like, Ash Hat
Welcome
Pikachu
back.
stuff either. Big Bear, thank you for the 14 months. I appreciate it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Thank you, thank you. Welcome back. Detective Pikachu. Pikachu definitely has a more wild... Pikachu says hell in the Detective Pikachu movie. Oh my god. You subbed? Welcome. I think they can be shiny? That sounds right. I mean, my least favorite thing they ever did with that, which I always feel nervous when I say this, because I know there's stands. Listen, it's just my opinion, don't get mad. I hate Ash Greninja. I'm very glad that thing will never come back. I much prefer Mega Greninja. I mean, they just stuck Ash's hair on it and gave it a few extra details and called it a day. Did not like that. I will not mourn Ash Greninja. And then Ash, like, never used it again. All of his Pokemon from that season, like, vanished. Yeah, just regular Greninja or Mega Greninja, please. What's up, Hatman? A DBZ fusion. That's, yeah, it felt so fan servicey, like so pandery. What's up, Shinala? Ash having a Pokesona. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It is like Ash turned into a Greninja. I actually like the simplicity of Greninja's design. He does not have a lot of super intricate detail, so when they revealed Ash Greninja, it was like, oh, Charmander's in the 1990s. Maybe I'll get it shiny on my birth year. Open 4 booster boxes of different Japanese sets. Oh, sick! Did you get a really good pull? Or anything you wanted? Opening Japanese sets is the way, because you get so many better odds. And the card quality is nicer. Magikarp, are you gonna be shiny, ma'am? No? Okay. Miscellaneous is also not shiny. They don't cost a limb, also true. Caterpie's catching up to my carps. Caterpillars in the fish, they don't want to be shiny. It's always fun ordering a few booster packs whenever I put in a Pokemon Japanese center order. I've been seeing this viral clip of a guy that cut open a Yu-Gi-Oh pack with like a, I can't even remember the terminology, ultra super awesome special dark magician, and he cut the top of the card off. I think it's faked. I think it's a proxy. I don't think it's real. Good night, Zubby. Have a good one. I will be streaming tomorrow. Yep. Yeah, Hatman, I hope it's staged. I don't think it's real. It's crazy that you have to even ask that. Amazing what people will stage for attention and clicks. Also, if you're new here, chat, I do have a Discord. Feel free to share your own shinies. We also have, I post merch news in there, and yada yada yada. Can your rival get a shiny? I don't think so, but that would be very funny. He stunts on you with his shiny Squirtle. Smell you later. I got my cool shiny. Bye. Bubbleen is a great song, but it is included in literally every single one of these playlists, so I'm a little sick of it. The Charmander of 1984. Yeah, that's right. Wally can have Ralt show up shiny initially, but then it vanishes. Poor Wally. Maybe if Hugh's sister's Purloin was shiny, I'd understand why he wants it back so bad. People shiny hunting for Ghost Marowak. Yeah, I've seen that. Big Shiny Hunter is talking about shiny hunting the uncatchable Marowak, and people on Twitter were like, "Oh, I can't compute why somebody would ever do that." I actually have an uncatchable shiny in mind for, like, a Halloween. Maybe we could do it for, like, a Halloween special. I've also, the only other non-catchable shiny I've hunted for was in the Gale of Darkness tutorial. The first tutorial battle. Yeah, you don't really- I don't know why anybody wants to post on Twitter about anything they do. You're just gonna get, like, bot replies telling you you're a stupid idiot. Shiny Groudon outfit, that's another one. Battle Revolution is such an interesting game. Twitter's been showing me a lot of those, like, rage bait. I don't understand. Shiny hunters should be studied. Not that serious. Everyone called you a stupid idiot. That sucks. I mean, I saw people having controversy. A Twitter blue guy went to Japan and bought a Poptopia plush. And then people were saying, people actually buy plush toys? Oh. I could never experience joy. I just sit on Twitter and get mad all day at random people. You can't even post a Pokemon plushie anymore without people turning it into some moral debate. No thanks. Hard pass on that one. This is why I just use Twitter to retweet fun artwork, chat. If you ever follow me on Twitter, that is all I do. I retweet cool art. That's it. I save all my hottest takes for stream. That is the best way to make Twitter at least a little bit usable. Put things on your block list. Terms. I swear, every algorithm lately has been so aggressive. I clicked on like a Resident Evil tweet, and now my entire timeline is all Resident Evil. Which I love Resident Evil. I love seeing Wesker and Leon, but maybe not every post. They're just so aggressive. I feel like TikTok is kind of like that too. You look at one thing and then they're like, oh hey, you like this one thing? We're gonna show it to you forever. Paid an outrageous amount. Physicians near you, and now you get a bunch of doctor ads. The worst is when you're like talking to somebody about something and then you suddenly see ads for it on your phone. You're like, wait, what happened? This is the perfect shiny hunting music. This is how it feels. "50-50 English and Spanish TikToks for a week." I do get lots of Portuguese and other similar language tweets on my timeline. I don't know how that happened. This is like Poptopia music right now. Still see ads for them. Hey, you bought an electric toothbrush. Would you like another electric toothbrush? Oh boy. People who can open storage lockers. The worst is YouTube. Whenever I go on YouTube, I usually have a homepage for the subscription, so all the people I subscribe to. But if I ever look at, like, suggested content, YouTube is going to always suggest to me a 9-year-old video without fail. They have often suggested my own videos to me. Like, huh? I don't want to watch my own videos from like 5 years ago. Remember this video from 9 years ago? No. No, I don't. Still no shiny Snorlax? Dang. See chessboards everywhere. Everywhere I go, I see the bishop's face. Oh shit, my YouTube bot finally worked. Crazy. YouTube's AI gave you the stupidest video topic recommendations. Don't even get me started on those tools. YouTube tools are so... I actually tested for those. I am part of... I joined YouTube's program to test features. And boy, was that AI one not useful in any way, shape, or form. What do I use for shared chat? It is a tool from Nutty. Let me link his YouTube. I could type, which I can't. This guy does a ton of like OBS, streamer stuff. And he made his own plugin. You're familiar? Just over 1K resets. We're hanging in there. We're still under odds. Yeah, he's got a lot of useful tools. The one thing I'll say, though, is you can't really configure it until you're live, which sucks. I don't like that. They've updated it. You won't get in trouble anymore if you have shared chats. I was looking up reviews for something the other day, and YouTube was straight up just showing me, like, AI videos that were not even of what I was looking for. They bamboozled me. That are somehow allowed. One thing I keep encountering lately, I don't know if this is happening to anybody else, or if it's just my browser, but I am running into verification checks all the time. They are relentless. Not even for, like, you're just browsing websites or going to Google. They'll hit me with a CAPTCHA. I don't know if that's just Brave doing that or what, but I'm not doing anything illegal. just wanting to Google something. Why do you need to verify me for doing this? I did figure out why Brave was crashing so much. Asus had a overclocking feature on, and as soon as I turned that off, it stopped crashing. So, great. Great. I used to use Chrome, but as soon as they forced out all the ad blocker... Can you still have ad blockers on Chrome? Okay, you gotta get a different song. These playlists just use the same, like, 15 songs ad nauseum. Oh, you picked up RE9? Nice. Read this chat message? That's essentially what it is. To Google this thing in Poptopia, we need to verify you, that you are a human. Unless you're a bank or some sort of database with a lot of private information, don't be doing that. Just let me view the website, please. Hunting Dratini. The noodle. Magikarp, you are not the shiny. Yeah, we'll definitely be doing more of this tomorrow, chat. And then next week, we'll see. Probably more of this. Maybe some more Poptopia. Maybe we'll slot in a Dynamax Adventures. We'll see. You got it, Shalfa, first try. Nice. I kind of had a similar experience with my Riolu. I looked for Shalfa Riolu before the DLC came out, which I never even evolved that Riolu into Lucario Z. I don't even have Lucario Z. I never bothered to get it. But it took like maybe 15 minutes before Riolu showed up, which was really cool. And it was Shalfa. Had really decent luck for Pikachu, too. That was another one that I did before the DLC came out. On that rooftop. Just running back and forth, getting it. That's the rooftop that Flaffy jumped off of. The Flaffy side incident. Crazy how shiny hunting in the game became a completely different beast the second that the DLC came out. They were really good at that. Not only did they make it easier to get the charm in the DLC, but then there was that update that allowed it so you could have more shards, which would have been so helpful. That would have been so helpful. Bored hunting in ZA, I do not blame you. I do not blame you. There's still some shinies I want to pick up in that game, but let me tell you, my desire to pick up ZA and play it, not high. And I always felt bad, too, when I had to make donuts. Like, how boring. What a boring, boring thing. There's a lot to like about ZA. I think the Mega Rogue fights were all fun. A few fun new characters, some good music. I think the controls feel a lot better than they did in PLA. I'll put it this way, I would much rather pick up ZA again than PLA. PLA has better atmosphere, though. It's like... PLA does have some things that I like in it over ZA. The donut system was just... Oh, man. They pretend X and Y just didn't happen. Let's put Yveltal on a shopping mall rooftop and call it a day. Alright, we're done. Them releasing another Gen 6 game where they focus primarily on other Gen Pokemon again is almost, like, funny. If it wasn't infuriating. Something something poetry, it rhymes. I kept wondering when making donuts, how many people were making donuts and not realizing that you could reset with the backup save. I just kept thinking about that. Those poor people. ZA also had way too long of an intro. I haven't played PLA since it came out, but I do not remember PLA's tutorial area lasting as long as it did in ZA. ZA's is like hours long, and it's like, please let me go. Please let me go. Please let me go explore. Nope, can't go. Please let me go. Nope. Its pacing is terrible. Like, after you have Floette show up and blast those people, that should have been the end of it. Still so jealous. Well, if it makes you feel better, I haven't gotten anything shiny since. Yeah, I didn't know about the backup save thing until people started spreading it around on socials. Otherwise, I was like, wait, that existed the whole time? Seriously, it's making me want to go watch, like, the beginning of PLA. I do not remember that game being so... 3 hours later. You didn't realize you could reset for donuts for so long? No! I hate reading that. Oh, I agree, CB. I think Poptopia... Listen, they better copy some of that Poptopia stuff in future games. There's a lot about Poptopia that I like. That should be in just mainline games. I like the way Poptopia talks to you. The way it gives advice and tutorials feels friendly and approachable. If that makes sense. Which, now that I said it out loud, it kind of doesn't. It's... The way they have it written just feels like, don't worry about it, guys. If you want to do this, then you can do that. And if you don't, then whatever. That's kind of how Poptopia has it laid out. Yeah, it doesn't treat you like an invalid. Slay the Spire 2. I've seen a lot of people playing that. That's true as well. Maybe if they just let us explore the city while still giving us the main task, it would have been fine. They just hold you on a leash for way too long. And I like the sequence. The intro is cute. You show up on the train, you get robbed, it's funny. You meet Urbane/Tawny. You go through that sequence at night, and Floette shows up. Like, that was all good stuff. But that's where it should have ended. That's where the tutorial should have been, like... They should have mashed all that together and just had it bing bang boom done. Which... I don't know why it's so heavily tutorialized when we know from Game Freak themselves that these games are meant to appeal to older audiences. But the way that they design the tutorial in that game tells me otherwise. Like, the Legends games are aiming for an older audience. Why are you writing it like we all have... This is our first day on Earth reading? It just doesn't make any sense. You got your shiny Squirtle the day FireRed LeafGreen came out? Nice. I got my shiny Bulbasaur, but Charmander's holding up the crowd. It just blows my mind how many video games are still bad at tutorials, like all these years later. That should be what you focus on the most, you would think. When you develop a game, do you not want the intro of the game to be what hooks people and keeps them playing? Naming it Cosmo, you need somebody to go with it that you can name Wanda. It almost did feel like they backtracked, because PLA always focuses on Pokemon are ferocious creatures. Which they're pretty ferocious at ZA. You ever tried to climb a ladder when 5 Pyroar are trying to earth power you to death? I think I died in ZA way more, or fainted. Blacked out a lot more in ZA than I ever did PLA. Some of that reminded me a little bit of Scarlet Violet, where there's no iframes. You just get onslaught by all these alpha Pokemon. You can just Braviary out of danger. That's true. Honestly, that's true. You can just fly away on Braviary. In ZA, you have to run for your little life, and then a lot of Pokemon can hit you very far away. Hence Earth Power. Or one of the most dangerous Pokemon in that game, Klefki. Klefki has like an arsenal of moves that can hit you halfway across the map. The dangerous keys. I kept wishing for more ways to combat with Pokemon in ZA. I wish there was better sneaking, wish there was smoke balls, I wish there was ways you could distract Pokemon, also 1500 Magikarp, oh my god. They didn't even have Go-Goat. Which we know from the beta that they were going to, but they cut it. Feels like the tutorial never ends. Pokemon games used to never hold your hand like that. Like, Gen 1, they just threw you out and that was it. And I was able to figure it out just fine. They were going to have Go-Goat riding in ZA. From the Terra leak, a early beta of ZA came out, and it revealed a few things. It revealed that they were going to have Go-Goat riding. And it also revealed that the buildings used to not all be flat. They had texture to them. They had, you know, railings and shutters and stuff. They were not all flat. So sometime during development, they scrapped all of that. I'm guessing because it's Switch 1. I'm guessing they scrapped a lot of that to make it work better on the Switch 1. But that's just a theory. I mean, we had ride Pokemon in PLA. So I don't know. It's weird. I don't know what happened. We couldn't have even gotten rollerblades. They didn't even give us roller skates. And had the nerve to bring Karina back. Let's Go's ability to ride anything. It was so funny to ride on Snorlax's big belly. Get in my belly. It does. I think that's probably the best looking Pokemon game, at least on the Switch 1. Too bad about everything else with that game, though. We've basically learned about massive features. Here's what Game Freak does, chat. They start work on a new game. They have huge ideas. They're dreaming big. And then inevitably, all of that gets cut down and reduced. And then we're left with the final product. I can think of many games that have Sun and Moon had tons of changes. They were gonna have where you could build your own gym in Sun and Moon. Time and budget are likely culprits. The Terra leak has been so illuminating. And I'll reiterate this if you weren't aware, but ZA's budget is $13 million. Which is nothing. For a modern game, that budget is laughable. And I feel like ZA does feel like it was a game that cost $13 million to make. $13 million. From a company that brings in bajillions. What was Scarlet Violet's budget? I can't remember. Scarlet Pokemon. Scarlet Violet had a budget of 3.298 billion yen, which is about $21.8 million USD. So ZA was about 13 million USD and Scarlet Violet was 21.8 million. Which is still very low. Compared to like GTA 6's $2 billion. I mean, even most, you know, not your cream of the crop AAA games cost like $100 million. That is very, very low. They are actively choosing to not spend a lot of money on these games. And I think that has mostly shown. There was also a thing in the Terra League about them being upset that they have been spending too much money on the DLCs lately. Which is why I think ZA's DLC is just an asset reuse, very cheaply cobbled together mess. Because they don't want to pay for it. They don't want to pay for it. They want to make these games as cheap as possible and then bring in all the profits. I don't know if we know the cost of the DLC, but it had to be very low. Everything is just an asset reuse. With the exception of, like, a few new models and where Darkrai spawns. Certainly doesn't make me feel good about future DLC for, like, Weewa. But that's why these games have been the way that they've been, chat, because they are not, they're not paying for them. They're not putting the money in. A lot of what Game Freak's doing feels like how they operated back in, like, 2004 when FireRed LeafGreen came out. Because these games, I'd love to see the budget for FireRed LeafGreen. I really do think everything changed for Game Freak when they started having to break out of the pixel wheelhouse. The MMO rumor. Honestly, that probably got scrapped. There's been tons of projects that we've learned about from the Terra Leak. There was a scrapped movie, there was several scrapped games. We learned that Poptopia ended up getting retooled from an idea they had. No luck yet? Nope. We're almost at 2,000 Manders. Where can you find the Terra Leak? You'll have to just do some sleuthing on Google. I think a lot of it, when it first came out, got taken down. There was waves of it, too. There was an initial Terra Leak where we got to see a bunch of sprites and stuff that were cut from Gen 3. Remember the bowling pin chicken? One of my favorite Gen 3 betas. I can't believe they cut that. The Typhlosion story? Yes, it is. Yup. The Terra leak was so insane. It even ended up revealing, like, interpersonal workplace drama. It was crazy. Yeah, I don't know if I'd ever want a Pokemon MMO. They would monetize the absolute shit out of that. MMOs are, like, walked so mobile games could run. I played a lot of Digimon Masters online. Let me tell ya, don't ever play that. Unless you want to spend like $3,000 to get the cool new Digimon 1515 carp. Don't do that. I don't know why they have the budgets as low as they are. It's not like they're strapped for cash. Where does all that money go? Into Ishihara's wallet so him and his wife can go see, like, famous singers. What's up, Hello? You have not missed a darn thing. It's so anti-art, too. Poptopia feels like the only thing that they've released lately that they actually are, like, proud of. Are you winning, son? We're at 1517 for Magikarp, and we're about to be at 1972 for Mander. Charmander of 1972. I think Poptopia is also refreshing because it's our first side game that we've had in a while after a slew of awful, awful mobile games. It's so refreshing. It's so refreshing. I would much rather pay one fee for a game and have access to everything than have a game for free and have everything be paywalled. Yeah, New Snap was the last one, which New Snap was great too. I really gotta recommend New Snap if you never played it, especially if you like Snap on the N64. That was a good one. I enjoyed that. I believe it was Bandai Namco that made New Pokemon Snap. See, when Game Freak hires gaming companies that actually know what the hell they're doing, good shit happens. The Pokemon all have so much personality, it's so nice. I told this story at the start of stream, but I was playing a little bit of Poptopia before I went live tonight, and I was in Rocky Ridge, which has a bunch of minecart tracks. I was gonna go in the mine and look for some iron ore, and out of the mine zoomed out my Larvesta. In a minecart, driving it by himself. It made me laugh out loud. It made me laugh out loud. There he goes! There goes my hero. That little Larvesta zooming by in the minecart brought me so much joy. The fact that Pokemon can get in the minecarts and operate them themselves is so fun. Pokemon have so much autonomy. And I put Magmar kind of deep in the mine, because that's where they tell you to put him, and Magmar comes out and hangs out with everybody. He makes the trek out. It's just really nice. It does have good pathing! It does. Except for the Torkoal quest. I don't know what happened there. But besides that, yes. I agree. Hasn't felt like that in a bit. I get what you mean. You brought him down to the main area. Yeah, Charcadet and Volcarona are stuck in the lava pits. I don't even have like a bed or anything for them down there. Sorry, fellas. I'll figure it out at some point. Poptopia also respects your time. You can easily interact with Pokemon without having to talk to them. You can just hit up on the D-pad and they'll follow you. It's a night and day difference going from a game that does not respect your time, like making donuts in ZA's DLC. Or even a lot of other cozy games. A lot of other cozy games falter in that one as well. You can jump, and it's so nice! It's so nice to be able to jump. Why did they have to make the game a game key card? We could have had an absolute slam dunk. I actually think they opened up a form for feedback today, chat, so if you're not buying it because it's a game key card, let them know. Tell them. You gotta speak up. They release an actual physical. That'd be kind of crazy if they did. I mean, the game is selling very well. You never know. It's already sold, and this was several days ago, 2.2 million copies. The most successful side Pokemon game, which I don't think I would have guessed this, but it's Stadium. Well, maybe that makes sense. The N64 was a very big console. I had Stadium, so I contributed to that number. I would have maybe... Mystery Dungeon? I wonder what the top 5 is. I actually don't even know. Also, heads up, Twitch chat. Ad's gonna play.
Whoa!
That was a good one. Whoa! He was flabbergasted. Bring the announcer back. I miss him. The Battle Revolution announcer was so fun too. I miss them. Bring the announcers back. Whoa! That was a good pull. Stadium was the first instance of seeing Pokemon in 3D. That's true. That is true. cast for Worlds. I can't believe they've never brought him in. Either of them. Either voice actors. That would be so fun. Even for just like a little bit. Like just having a bit with one of the actual VG casters. That would be so much fun. The red corner has not made a move. The blue corner has chosen a new Pokemon. Did Hey You come out before Stadium? I actually don't know. I had both of them though. I would love it if they re-released Hey You Pikachu. Now, I don't think they ever can because that's a microphone game. But maybe, just maybe, if we dare to dream hard enough. $67 notifications, my god. I get overwhelmed when I have like 3. Waking up and like seeing 1,000 notifications. Oh no. Whoops. Jeez, it's already been over 3 hours, chat. My goodness. I blinked and it's 3 hours later suddenly. Charmander's almost in the 90s. Back in the 90s. You had a pacifier when Hey You Pikachu came out. I was probably 5? Maybe? 5, 6? The only Pokemon spin-off game I never ended up playing on the N64 was Puzzle League. Did I miss out, chat? Did I miss out on a banger? I think Puzzle League having Ash, like anime characters, always made me feel like it looked like a little bit like shovelware. Which I didn't know what shovelware was as a kid, but I knew the concept. They removed the Ranger class in modern games. Oh, Pokemon Ranger fans. I wish they'd bring it back. I have fond memories of the first one, at least. $19.90. I've never played original Pokemon Pinball. I only ever played Ruby Sapphire. I should play the... Why have they never re-released it? Why are they allergic to re-releasing games that would be... take 5 seconds to upload the ROM and call it a day? $19.91. wonder which one of these years Charmander was. Was it 96 or was Charmander maybe made in 95? I'm terrible with dates. $1992. All right, Charmander, come on. Great year coming up. Huge year that I was alive for 1.5 days for. What's up, everybody coming in? We are at about to be at 1993 Manders and 1538 for Carp. Come on, Charmander 93. Let's go. Aw. Traitor. Charmander is the traitor. Real. Hope y'all are having a better time shiny hunting tonight than I am. Which we will be live again tomorrow, same time, same place. We'll keep going for a little while longer. I want that slot on the top of FireRed to be filled so bad, where Bulbasaur is. Come on, Charmander! Anybody born in 1540? Do a different playlist. Oh, that's when you were born? You look great for your age. You got Shiny Celesteela and Ultramoon faster than Charmander and FireRed. Ooh, I'm jealous. I want Shiny Celesteela. I hate fighting Celesteela in Dynamax Adventures. That bamboo spaceship is my enemy. Not as miserable as fighting Palkia, but very close. Celesteela shakes fists. Seeing Nihilego and Guzzlord is like, ah, easy victory. Has Nihilego ever beaten us? I don't think that it has. I hope they bring back the UBs and Weewa so I can get a shot at Poipole. Also Savali. Also Type Null. Also, can we Shiny Hunt Cosmog? When do we get to do that? Next century? You got Shiny Guzzlord the other day? Nice! Congrats on your big orange screaming pumpkin. Shiny Solgaleo is so ugly. The sunburnt lion. I definitely think Lunala wins in the shiny department there. Which Lunala's my friend. I got Lunala in 4 Dynamax Adventures. Lunala is my friend. Solgaleo. Hundreds of rounds with that lion. Nothing. You're farming for Solgaleo right now. A Mega Slowbro with Moody and your randomized Ultra Moon wiped your team. That's so evil. Whoever made the ability Moody at Game Freak. Side-eye. That was probably one of the times I've raged the hardest. When Sword and Shield came out, I did a little bit of competitive and I do singles matches, and I encountered this evil soul who had a Moody Glalie. And, did not like that. Moody is evil. That's one of those abilities where it's just like, yo, you just made that to cause chaos, huh? 2,000 Manders. 2,000 of them. Wow. Let's see. I have 25 hours versus 20 hours. I don't know why they don't sync. So 25 hours. I also have 70 hours in Poptopia. Is that right? Is that right? Oh my god. It's funny that my Switch 1 is like, oh, this is what you're doing on your Switch 2. I think. 70 hours? There's no way. Do I really have 70 hours in Poptopia? Oh no. I shouldn't have revealed that. $80 hours. Charmander is part of the year 2000. Moody is pure RNG, but I swear, most times I've seen people use Moody, it just works out for them. And you lose. I have left Poptopia up and AFK'd for a little bit in my defense. Sometimes I'll just leave the game open. I play the game on my computer. I'll use my Elgato software and just bring it up on my PC and play on my computer. Almost as if I was, like, streaming it. Do a double check. We haven't done a double check in a while. Whoops. Pokédex-less FireRed. And nothing. 2002. We're almost in the year this game came out. So similar in color. I did not plan that. This would be great if I was doing a hyper-specific orange Pokemon that turn into gold shiny. Are there any others? Are there any other orange Pokemon that have yellow shinies? I think the Pokemon game that I've put the most hours into is probably Shield, just because, again, we continue to pick up Shield for Dynamax Adventures. That has made that game have so much longevity. Torchic, that's right, Torchic. Arcanine, Growlithe. People born in 2008. But they're so 2000 and late. Hello there, laddie. I'm usually a red game. Usually the red game is what wins. Let's see. Do I have case in point? Scarlet, Shield, Shining Pearl. Let's Go doesn't count. I did get both FireRed and LeafGreen, though, when I was a kid. I bought both of them. Well, I got both of them. But except for... X and Y, which I picked X. I always end up picking the red game, typically. People have figured out how to make computers in Poptopia. Shout out Fergie. She taught everybody how to spell glamorous. We love her for that. 2005, 2006. We are officially out of the year this game was made. Black or white? I picked white. Is that the red version? Which one is the red version? Some of you are babies. Bought both versions from then on, including third games like Platinum. Yeah, so did I. Reshireb's the fire type. I've told this story many times, but back during Gen 5 era, the Dark Ages, before they released Pokemon games worldwide, I imported Pokemon White. I got a DS Lite. I went out and got a DS Lite because Nintendo started region locking after the DS Lite. Boo hiss. And I got it, I bought it from PlayAsia. And I got to play Pokemon White. I played through the whole game in Japanese. And then I went out and got Black when it came out in the US. But that was fun. I really loved doing that. I still remember going to Cerebi and looking up Daikenki's Samurot's moveset to try to figure out what moves I was actually using. Most of the classic moves I could understand, you know, tackle. Like, yeah, that's tackle. But with a lot of the newer moves that they introduced into Gen 5, I was like, well, what's that? What's that? What's that? I used Victini on my team too. That was fun. Using sword to teach yourself Japanese. I feel like that would help. GBA SP Micro. I've always wanted one. I don't think I picked up any Japanese from Pokemon White. It was just, I was able to have enough knowledge to navigate through the game. I mean, maybe certain words looked familiar to me. I think, they're pretty... You could sell them for a lot of money now. I say as if most retro Pokemon, or not even Pokemon, Nintendo stuff isn't a bajillion dollars. Like 150? I guess that's not too terrible. You need a Japanese... Oh, that sucks. Magikarp and Pokemon X. FireRed and LeafGreen are cheap for now. If you get them on Nintendo Switch 1 and 2 eShop, yes. If you buy them secondhand, they're still pretty pricey. Shiny Metapod is orange. He's a Cheeto. Weedle and Caterpie both have great shiny lines, if we're being honest. The microwave waiting for roller coasters. Pokemon were the kings of good handhelds back in the day. Surprised they never had a Game Boy Micro Pokemon edition. One of my favorite Pokemon handhelds was the Japanese Pokemon Center exclusive Mew Original DS. I really wish I had bought one years ago. They're so cool. It's very subtle. Very subtle design. I kind of like that. Butterfree, not so good. It's definitely no Beedrill. But Caterpie's got a great shiny. The New York Charizard Pokemon Center GBA. Oh, the Holy Grail. You could have bought one. I think about... I had no chance in hell when I was a child in the Pokemon Center to get any of those hundreds of dollar plushies, but man. I still think about them. I still think about that giant Lugia plush. Oh, the Groudon, Kyogre, Rayquaza SPs. They even had a Torchic one. That was so cute. Alright, one more for Charmander and we're in the crazy clown year. Was 2016 when Pogo came out? Was that the Pogo year? Was the Pogo year the year that they also had killer clowns? I can't remember. Did Overwatch come out that year? You guys see Jeff Kaplan did an interview the other day, which he was a very big part of original Overwatch. He would always do, like, the Overwatch directs to tell people news. I always remembered where he was. Working on a new game, and he gave an interview, and he said he was called into the Blizzard CFO office. And they sat him down, and they said, if Overwatch doesn't sell this many copies, we're going to fire 1,000 people, and it's gonna be your fault. How do you even react to being told something like that? My god, no wonder this industry is in flames. We're gonna fire 1,000 people if it doesn't meet sales goals, and it's gonna be all your fault. Jesus. No wonder he got out of there. Nothing like 1,000 people's livelihoods in your own hands. Jesus. What factory lab did that CFO come from? What private equity chain did he get hired from? Sheesh. You got phones, right? Oh, jeez, the Diablo guy. Oh, you got phones, right? What a that's just such a terrible way to answer that question. You know why people don't like mobile games. What a terrible way to answer that question. I could even... Here, I'll think of a better one. Oh, we just thought it would be a new way to get Diablo to the players. There you go. Never should you answer like that. My goodness. Was that guy a dev or like a higher up? Jeez. They ported it to PC anyway. Jeff said that CFO doesn't work at Blizzard anymore, so they're probably going to whoever they were, they're going to terrorize somebody else. Hopefully they're not in games. $15.67 for Carp, and we just hit 2020, and now we're gonna hit 2021. We're gonna be past modern years, chat. Again, that's why Poptopia feels like such a breath of fresh air, because it's not a dog shit mobile game. It's so nice. I know somebody who's a big WoW fan, so trust me. I get it. Yeah, we're gonna have to go see the Jonas Brothers in the year 3000. Where not much has changed, but they live underwater. And your great-great-great-granddaughter is doing fine. That's one of their best songs. That might be my favorite song from them. That one is such a banger. Been to the year 3000. Is it a cover? I didn't even know that. Don't they bring up like Kelly Clarkson or somebody, which is a very funny and inaccurate prediction. Already not true. I mean, Kelly Clarkson's still around, but she's not exactly tearing up the music charts anymore. Not everybody can be the Simpsons with the gift of prophecy, I suppose. Miss Carp? Shiny? No? Okay. Three debatables. Somehow people will find ways to argue over colors that... Like, I've seen a weird amount of controversy around shiny Lugia. Some people insist that it's red for some reason. I'd say it's more pink than red. But if you want to call it red, I won't stop you. Somebody identify me the color of shiny Mamoswine. 2026! Charmander's about to go into the future. Barf green. That's definitely the proper term. Barf. Pea soup. Shiny Ho-Oh is gorge. And I got it in 15 rounds in Dynamax Adventures, so Ho-Oh, friend of the stream. My namesake ignores me. Sad. Can't trust any of these birds. Highest streak for shinies I've had. I definitely got over 1,000 for eggs with Galarian Yamask. That was like Babby's first shiny hunt that took way too frickin' long. Besides that, I think Darkrai has my record around 4K. So we haven't gotten into Darkrai territory yet. But we will be soon. Will FireRed Ho-Oh be as friendly? Ugh. Let's do a double check. Double check. Double no. Yeah, Lugia had some weird coloration. That's right. Now that you guys say that, Lugia used to have like black detailing instead of dark blue. A lot of Pokemon have that. Sometimes Ditto is pink and sometimes Ditto is purple. Who's another one that changes colors on a whim? Sometimes they just can't make up their mind. Pinsir changed between brown and tan. You're right. You're right. Orange shiny Gyarados. Listen, if Magikarp will show up, we can demonstrate. If Magikarp ever decided to show up, we could literally demonstrate. Okay, give me a second. Oh man, 2030. Crazy. Only 443, yup. LeafGreen blessed me with a shiny Bulbasaur very early and then has given me nothing since. Let's get Magikarp to 1600 maybe, and then Charmander will just be wherever Charmander is. Again, I will be live tomorrow and we'll be doing exactly this. Oh, Spinarak! Right. I was like, there's a Gen 2 Pokemon that happened with. Bulbasaur was at 443. Look at him. Isn't he so green? My beautiful, beautiful Bulbasaur. Ooh, Mudkip. That's a fun shiny hunt. The Gen 3 starters, shinies, bangers. Oh, Smeargle is another one. Sentret in this game always looks shiny to me. Does that count? Does that count? Every time you see Sentret in this game, it genuinely looks shiny. You're going for Suicune? Ooh, that's such a... That might be one of the finest looking shinies in this game. It's real nice. It's real nice. A secret Pokemon. A secret we'll come back to later. Single hunting. Single hunting feels like it can be slower, but you're only focusing on one thing, so it can be nice in that regard. So you're staying nice. Welcome. I don't think anything was done with Altering Cave if you go there now, which I never understood Altering Cave as a kid either. I remember getting to Altering Cave and encountering Zubat in there and just being like, okay. Anyway. I didn't understand Altering Cave even as a kid. It'd be nice if they could switch it up, though, when Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald get released. Trying to get shiny Mewtwo. I love Mewtwo's green. Wish I could get Mr. Mime shiny easier. It has, like, the same nice green shiny. Charmander? Okay. You are not the shiny. Lugia will not shine for you. Magikarp, will you shine for me? No? Okay. 30k, 3 months? Oh no. Well, then I can brag and be like, my Charmander took 50,000 bajillion billion resets. July to September, wow. Well, you finally got it at least. You didn't give up. 79. I do want to do the Lapras and Sylph at some point. Lapras has a beautiful shiny, and it's just a cool Pokemon. It's just a cool Pokemon. Another Pokemon that used to feel very rare until they had it spawning on land like a beached whale in Scarlet Violet. That outbreak event cracked me up so hard. That was such a funny... That was the funniest thing outbreak event Scarlet Violet ever had. All those poor Lapras on land. You got a shiny Love Disc in 2? I mean, hey, it might not be a very interesting Pokemon, but got a good shiny. Starmie, yeah, Starmie did used to be good back in the day. I think I had a Starmie on a competitive team back in Gen 4. Gen 4 had... I love Gen 4 competitive era. A shiny's a shiny. True. A shiny's a shiny unless it's a shiny. I do always have a little bit of appreciation for original red, blue, yellow, green competitive, though. Persian King. Horos was so good. Snorlax, so good. Executor. Bring me back to a time where Executor can be competitive again. I miss it. Oh, hi Bulbasaur. Imagine I do that, Bulbasaur shiny, then boom! The carp is shiny. Not this time, though. We paid an outrageous amount. 500 yen. Will never financially recover. Not my $5. You have an Executor on your team in LeafGreen. Oh, that's fun. I think I used Executor in a LeafGreen team when I was a kid, and that was the team I had my Fearow on. As soon as I get either Magikarp or Charmander, I have the targets ready. And we'll go ahead and head on over there. You know, game, if you ever feel like giving me another shiny, would be nice. Just a suggestion. Okay, I think we'll get to 250 for Mander. A good stopping point. Look at the flowers on the Pokemon Center desk next to Nurse Joy. This pixel art style is so charming. It is very charming. Wish Execute wasn't a Safari Zone. That might be kind of fun to have on my FireRed team. Haven't even bought the game. Hey, team planning is some of the best. I think that's some of the most fun you can have. I love team planning. It's very fun. And here, I always bring up this tool, but this is such a nice tool. This GitHub team planner is so nice. It has every game, all the Pokemon. You can search by certain types. It's just such a nice tool. Big recommend. I'll likely bring that tool up for Winds and Waves whenever they get those Pokemon in there. I did use that tool a little bit to plan out at least a rough draft of some of the shinies I want to get in this game. I love team building, and then I love making an executive decision halfway through and changing something. I did that in Scarlet. I had Clodsire on my team. And then I was like, wait. I want Glamora. They're both great Pokemon, though. Fig. I think I named my Clodsire Fig. Alright, 250 for Mander. Let's do 5 more for Carp, chat, and then we will be back here tomorrow. Repeating the same shiny grind. $35.89. Hope you get your golden Mander soon. The Mega Stone was post-game. Oh, X and Y was so full of that. They were so full of that. I think that something might have happened with me where I wanted to use same thing, but for like Alakazam. $15.98. 2 shots left. One more shot. You had one shot. Get a shiny Carp. I built a shiny Magikarp statue in Poptopia. You think that would give me luck. But it doesn't. You think that would give me luck. I even built a nice fountain for it in the rocky area. Dang. Why don't I keep track of where I started at? We got a lot of resets done tonight, chat. A lot of them. A lot of them. But still no shiny. How can this be? No luck tonight. No luck tonight, chat. But thanks for hanging out tonight, everybody. I appreciate it. Lediba. Oh, I miss Lediba. I'm telling you what, chat. Day 1, we're shiny hunting Lediba. We're going after Lediba like crazy. I can't wait. Holding back after only 443. Oh, what a nice Bulbasaur we gave you. It should be a shame if you went thousands and thousands of resets without a shiny after this. Well, chat, thanks for hanging out, everybody. Thanks for all the follows. Tons of new follows tonight. I appreciate it. Thanks for keeping me company while I looked in vain for a shiny. Claydol's a good one, too. I do like Claydol's yellow. Yeah, I will be back tomorrow doing this all over again. Shout out to the YouTube viewers and the VOD watchers. Appreciate everybody. And all the resubs as well. Thank you, everyone. I will be back tomorrow for more of this. Good luck on your shiny hunts. Hooper bless your hunts. And yeah, I am going to get out of here. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. See you tomorrow. Ta-ta. Farewell. Bye.